Mame ena wasemwa kwaba embra chana yiso ahasi age politics avenue. Political stories are trying to make waves, make headlines. Ne jembre na edibi eksumo ewa se ni de minya hudok se mu se ene edi kan. You best so bit subscribe to the channel. Hit notification bell so share na arofo account so answer into nkebe. Ni de ma woni yanko amayo se woni se ye bo every month. Eye $11 million Eurobond. Eye Nanado Danko Addo's Bawumia's administration. Etimi edi omanity eku brema wonua e katwitwi dia abeda oman ko wonua me no ka sei abodwafo atrasia as ansem yi omoye mo impensempense ma wonua enye asem koto akra na at this point in time bobo wura insem no ni ahwe ne yeko ene de ba aha age politics avenue me has is wajemre e wa yenko yinsim
on the 1st of July 2022 we engaged the IMF for our 17th IMF bailout agreement. What resulted in that, calamity is because as a government, as a people, in 6 years, and this is where it gets worrying, in 6 years, the government of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and Dr. Mahama Bawumia went for $11 billion of Eurobond in 6 years. In fact, if you add the April 2017 Franklin Templeton bond of $2.25 billion to rate, it amounted to $13 billion in 6 years, never seen before. Roland, if it was the case that this $13 billion was used for the productive sector to transform the Ghanaian economy, that would be better. In 18 years, a month, President Addo promised to transform the economy. Regrettably, instead of transformation, he rather put the country back 50 years back. It has to take a lot of ingenuity by the Honorable Finance Minister and his team to move this country forward. I have heard people, and on this platform, I've heard the respected Professor Jimandria.
Yeah.
Is it Jimandria?
Yeah.
Bafwa Jimandria.
Bafwa Jimandria.
Formerly of CDD and the UN.
Yeah, yes, I want to be sure of the name. Yeah, on key point, he says how President Mahama has transformed the economy is miraculous. Miraculous. On this platform, key point, one of the Saturdays that I joined him, he said it is a miracle how we've been able to transform the economy in a year. Do you know that our friends in the MPP were clear in their minds that we can't do anything about the economy? That one of their flag bearer Gongon beaters had the audacity to say that the Ghana cedi will go up to 23 or 25 Ghana cedis. 25 Ghana cedis to $1. Why do you think he made that prophecy? Because when he saw the fundamental and what they were given and going to the President Mahama administration was going to inherit, it was clear in their minds that we can't do anything. And thanks to the and to the glory of God, we've been able to keep this economy stable. When was the last time you heard the MPP complain about the economy? But let me conclude by saying, notwithstanding,
well, they had raised issues about
notwithstanding all these payments, the Eurobond coupon payment amounted to several billions of Ghana cedis. We've kept free SHS going. We've kept LEAP going. We've kept national health insurance going. We've kept all the social intervention programs going. That is what is required of leadership. Today, it's been 1 year. President Mahama has not borrowed $1 Eurobond, but the economy is still floating. I think President Mahama, it is important that all of us should be unanimous in commending him for this leadership.
Is it putting the cart before the horse, Lawyer Pierre Dankwa? Because clearly, well, they'll say it's early days yet, but more importantly, while you pay this coupon rates or these coupon maturities, so to speak, it also means that there are other pressures coming home, you know, for which you also need to redeem, so to speak.
Yeah, so I think it's the fact that there has been a marked improvement in how the economy is being managed is not something that you can argue against. Indeed, we have a situation where the MPP or members of the MPP, I've heard so many times, attempting to say, I think you yourself did ask Addo, claim credit for the improvements that we've seen in the management of our economy. We've heard them attempt to say that the impact of the good board, the impact of the good board in the manner in which the economy has been sustainably managed is as a result of their policies. But you see, you talk about Cocoa Board, and for me, the way this Cocoa Board payment issue has been managed, the way the criticism from the MPP to suggest that if they were the people in government, they wouldn't have minded going to borrow money to pay, tells
well,
me...
they're entitled to that, is that not?
Yeah,
because they say during their regime, Cocoa Board and then its farmers, by way of the aggregators through which they also tend to trade with, they didn't need to get reduced prices.
Yeah, but as in, so if I give, as in, just to answer, you see, there was a time when, well, in terms of the exchange rate, in terms of the monies being paid at the international market, was similar to what pertains now, and they paid the cocoa farmers 1,300. You understand? But right now the cocoa farmers are being paid 2,500, more than 70%, almost 91% of the money is being received from the international market. The point I'm trying to make is that whereas one government is taking financial decisions, economic decisions, which are in the best interest of the country, another government took decisions which more or less was populist in nature. And the focus was essentially just to sustain themselves in power. Now, you take a program like NABCO. Yeah, you understand? How can you justify why governments are to spend over 5 billion Ghana cedis on a useless program like NABCO?
Why is it useless? Providing jobs in the interim for young people who don't have the job.
How much money did NABCO contribute to our GDP? Because you see, you want to create policies that will transform your economy, not policies that will temporarily keep you in power. And then you see, when you consider the fact that they had an option, the option was to spend money in what was supposed to be one of their most transformational programs, the 1D, 1F. And they spent just 400 million Ghana cedis there. You get the picture. Now, you take this government. Clearly, we have a leader now. We have a leader who clearly has a commitment to the progress of this country as against the previous leader. Because beyond the strides that has been made in terms of the fiscal and the monetary policy, you see clear commitment in building on that stability with the passage of the 24-hour economy authority. And when you read the purpose of the authority per the law, you see as in promotion of SME. You understand? And I hear people talk about job creation. But where a government has institutionalized this policy by way of law, you understand, and created an authority, and they are saying that one of the core functions of authority is to, what's called, promote SME. And when history has taught us that when you want to create jobs, when you want to create wealth, then one of the key areas that you must tackle is in the creation of the SME.
Small business units.
Yeah, you understand? And case in point is in the USA, 1953, when they passed their small business.
But there were small business unit policies also propagated.
But nothing has never been institutionalized.
Your lead founder headed the One District, One Factory initiative at the Trade Ministry as well.
Yes, but what I'm saying is that the holder of the fiscal policy showed their lack of commitment to the 1D, 1F by way of the monies invested there, 400 million Ghana cedis, and 5 billion in NABCO. capital. So it's no surprise that at a period when we are out of the international markets, because they've made all these payments without resorting to what's called borrowing. It is a miracle. You understand? They've managed to restore the credibility of our economy. And this is not myself just saying, these are facts, issues that are factual, are scientific.
Well, they still borrow through the domestic, not necessarily in the form of bonds.
The point that you see, the point that one government went to the international market, Eurobond, and raised more than 11 billion. More than 11 billion. Would you say that 11 billion led to the transformation of our economy? Their leader himself said that if you are confused about the economy, look to the exchange rate. Look to the exchange rate. You understand? So, listen, for me, the most critical thing is that I see a government who asks himself one key question. This decision I'm taking, would it be in the interest of Ghana? Another government whose reason for taking the decision they took was, would this sustain me in power? Because the way the MPP have handled their criticism of the way they've criticized the government and how they've handled the cocoa board issue, it tells me that if they were in power, they wouldn't have minded going to borrow money when clearly that decision in the long term would hurt this economy. Because managing of your debt, you understand, creating a system where you do not plunge your country into unnecessary debt, you understand, creates the right economic ecology needed for your economy to thrive. And for me, I want to commend the president and his finance minister, and to encourage them. And to say that myself, I'm encouraged also because I see that their focus is not just but also to create a system that will cause businesses to thrive by the institutionalization of the 24-hour economy, which portends massive hope, which shows that these are people who are serious about transforming the economy.
Richard, GDP, at the end of the day, is it because of prudent financial management and the consistency of it, and how that syncs with other pressures on the budget in itself?
Thanks, Roland. I think that it's really strange to hear all these phrases akin to idol worshipping, which has been frowned upon by their own general secretary, that they should concentrate on governance rather than being sycophants, praising unnecessary praises on the president. Roland, before I tackle your question, I want to put some facts straight. And according to highstreetjournal.com and Ghanaian Times, at the end of 2016 economic year, the GDP ratio to debt was 72.5%. It was not 96%.
No.
I said by when you were in power, it was 93.5%.
At some point, you said.
At some point.
Okay.
And by December 2016, when NDC gave you the economy, it was nowhere near it. So maybe straight in that
by the end of 2024, when we left power, the economic, the debt to GDP was 61.8. It's verifiable.
No, because I want you to check.
I want you to check.
That's rate-based.
You didn't. Please, let me speak.
Rate-based.
And again, the domestic borrowing alone, by the end of 2025 economic year, still stands at 138.74 billion. You can also check and come back.
If you say domestic borrowing, you're speaking in relation to government bills that have been issued, or?
Yes, but it still comes with a sort of interest, doesn't it? It comes as a cost to government businesses in terms of awarding contracts and also outlying or performing your mainstream policies that you want to do. So it comes with a cost to the Ghanaian taxpayer. Again, Akufo-Addo never said anywhere that there will be no haircut. If he's got that video, I would like to see, because I do not recall Akufo-Addo directly saying that. If there's this,
there'll be no haircut. It's a very famous video.
That he said that. Okay, then that's fine. But to come to DDEP, the party, MPP, and Akufo-Addo's Bawumia's government had explained on several cases, several situations where we have been very, very apologetic about it. The former president himself professed that one of his toughest decisions, and in fact he used the phrase darkest hour, was for us to implement this domestic debt exchange program. Consequently, the former vice president, the presidential candidate for MPP, has stood on several platforms to actually appreciate the difficulties where people, especially the middle class people, about 800,000 people, Ghanaians, were affected by this decision. Again, our party leaders, including the General Secretary, has also apologized to Ghanaians based on the impact that this political decision or government decision with regards to DDEP affected many, many Ghanaians. And I will not sit here to politicize or make some dubious comments as if it didn't have impact on Ghanaian people, especially people who have worked and had faith in government bonds, and then they have to bear the full brunt of government decisions. And so we have apologized to Ghanaians on several occasions. Roland, this is not new. As you recall, the payment of coupons started in August 2023. At the time, we were paying in cash and also paying in kind. And so this is a continuous lay-down project that the Bank of Ghana, the Ministry of Finance, is undertaking. Also, in February 2024, we paid some. August 2024, we paid some. But I do not think that we should make a whole lot of noise about it. Governance is continual. And if you are doing what you are supposed to do, you need not unnecessary praises for doing what you have to do. I'm also surprised that my colleagues here are saying that this economy is doing extremely well like we've never seen before, and therefore President John Dramani all of a sudden is a miracle president. This economy that is doing so well, we have over 14,000 nurses and teachers who have worked for 14 months. They are picketing because they've not been paid. This economy is doing so well that senior staffs at the universities, TEU, CLOSAC, are all threatening to go on strike. Some are already striking. This economy is doing so well. But my brother, look at the way we are treating cocoa farmers. Look at the way we are treating cocoa farmers. And for over 80 years in cocoa business in this country, there's never been a time where government decision is to reduce the price per bag to cocoa farmers. And some of my colleagues from the other side are making mockery of the plight of the cocoa farmer. I mean, we've been reading on social media that they are MPP people, they are this and that. Are we saying that if you're a cocoa farmer, you do not have the right to align to a political party? Is that what we are telling? If this economy is so booming, why are we struggling to pay the what we promised the cocoa farmers? When we were promising cocoa farmers in opposition, did you hear in any of their statements, emphatic statements that they made, that they were going to pay cocoa farmers based on percentage? You stood on campaign grounds and promised them that at least the minimum you would do will be 6,000. You went ahead to Parliament and also said that the minimum you give the cocoa farmer was 6,000 cedis. Your current Minister of Agriculture, Honorable Eric Opoku, came to Media General, Unia TV, and said that he was emphatic in his statement that if they don't pay a cocoa farmer 6,000 per bag, then does it mean that the cocoa bag belongs to the farmer or to the NDC government? And so you made all these promises to a point where the miracle man that you want us to believe, President John Dramani Mahama, few months ago, even told Ghanaians and the cocoa farmers, he was emphatic that if you have lands that you've not been using to cultivate cocoa, he is advising you to go and
we sama hodo timi course channel so mami ena wa so jemre e wa da sene so ba de no e dia dum bi adom yenia e be san abawura